Hey, what's up everyone? Pastor JAMZ back with another review, and today we got the latest album from The Weeknd, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Hurry Up Tomorrow was announced, I believe, well, it was announced last year, probably somewhere in the middle, but we knew this album was coming. Official announcement trailer was around towards the end, I want to say October, November, with an aim for a November release, if I'm not mistaken. It was definitely pushed back a month or two because it released in January 31st, 2025 of this year. So happy to hear that. Definitely has a chance to be on the list later this year. The Weeknd, real name Abel Tesfaye, 35-year-old singer-songwriter and actor from Toronto, Canada. So sixth studio album, 22 tracks, an hour and 24 minutes. I'm really excited. Huge fan of The Weeknd. So given that this is the end of a trilogy, he has been known to do things like that. Trilogy was kind of what where he started off with and things of that nature, and now he has done a second one with his sixth studio album and final studio album. Uh, really hope that's not the case. Maybe that I'll save that for another video. But let's dive right into this. 22 tracks, an hour and 24 minutes, bulky ass album here, but it's filled with amazing stuff that he is just really known for, and something that shouldn't be coming as a surprise to fans. He is really known for his synth pop, more of a 80s style vibe. However, I think that this was going more in a cinematic tone, whereas his last two albums are very different in terms of how they want to be represented, which is kind of obvious. And I shouldn't really have to say that, but it really is something that is well thought out, and something that he put a lot of care and effort and kind of like nurture into. You can really see that with this album, and given how large this album is, there are a couple tracks that I wouldn't say are tracks, they're just transitions, but are great. There's three of them to be exact. So if you really want to get down to the numbers, it's 19 full on tracks of this thing. And in terms of features, I was really surprised. Justice really good on the opening track, "Wake Me Up," and then you have Anitta on the track "Sao Paulo," which was also a single on here, and then the other single, which was "Timeless," featuring Playboy Cardi, which I want to say Playboy Cardi and Anitta, they're very different in terms of the features that they have on the tracks, on their respective tracks. However, the send off and how it's supposed to be taken in is kind of the same. Really, in terms of production, they're both 80s style, like techno style tracks, electro sound, and but the execution is very different. In the track "Sao Paulo," with featuring Anita, you have her kind of in the background for the most part, and I think that's really interesting, given how she's kind of like radioed in a little bit, but it's not to the point where it just destroys the production, which is amazing, by the way. Doesn't really follow the rest of the theme of the album, but it is good nonetheless. I mean, they were released as singles, um, but I do appreciate how Anita is just there to kind of keep the track going and not necessarily take in the spotlight at all, as a normal feature would, which was pretty interesting to me. And with Playboy Cardi, I mean, I'll give it a pass. I'll give it a pass. I'm not the biggest fan of Cardi. It's really hit or miss for me. He does surprise me from time to time. But with the track "Timeless," I kind of have more of a struggle accepting this electro techno sound more than I do with "Sao Paulo." But I mean, it's good nonetheless. Just barely there. And then you have the track 19, "The Abyss," featuring Lana Del Rey. The return of the two together. Great chemistry between them. They have a history together, dating all the way back to even Starboy back in 2016, and he even featured on her album in 2017, "Lust for Life." She's here, she's back, and just amazing as ever with her amazing vocals and really haunting vocals at the very end, I might add. Just mesmerizing and droning out that end track. The biggest surprise for me, I want to say, was track number 16, "Big Sleep," featuring Giorgio Moroder, which is, by the way, the composer to the official soundtrack of the 1980s rendition of Scarface. That movie is freaking awesome. One of the best movies out there, and one of the best movies of all time. The one of the biggest things about that movie is the production of the soundtrack itself. Giorgio Moroder produced that whole thing. It's amazing. You also have elements of that sound sprinkled in throughout the whole album. You have elements. If you really do take a listen, you have elements of Tony's theme. You have elements of the world is yours, that track in that album. And then you even have themes of kind of Gina's theme, if you have heard that track, kind of in here in a way. And you really do notice it in the first track, "Wake Me Up" featuring Justice, and then "Big Sleep." And Future's on here as well in track number 10, "Enjoy the Show," which is really surprising to see him again, even though he was just on a project with Future just last year. But I believe Future is also on 2016 Starboy as well. Pretty good stuff. I do think that Future also came through with his feature, not really doing his normal thing. That's very cliche. Kind of joins Abel in reflecting, and that's pretty much the grimace and gripe of this whole album. And pretty good stuff right there. And then Travis Scott and Florence the Machine on Reflections Laughing. Really, really awesome stuff from both of them. Travis Scott also kind of taking this route with Anitta, where he's taking on a different role, really deep voice, where it's obviously heavily modified, but it's supposed to take on this role of like him being maybe the demons talking to Abel, or some sort of that nature, like an evil calling or the dark side of his mind, anything like that. Because this is turning into a movie. Hurry Up Tomorrow comes out this summer or late spring, featuring lead actor, which is Abel Tesfaye, The Weeknd, and co-starring Jenna Ortega. So that I do want to preface the movie a little bit more. I don't know if this is supposed to be like what's gonna happen in the movie, or if this is like literally based off of the movie for the movie. If that makes any sense, like I don't know if we're supposed to be following something here. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But it does feel some sort of. It does feel in a way like a story. It feels like a very long story that is very complex with emotions and feelings. A lot of self-reflecting, like I said. Abel does do a lot of that in these tracks. I do want to say, as even though there's tracks on here that are more lively, they do feel like a breath of fresh air. Like "Take Me Back to LA," very awesome production. Has this sense of like a West Coast summer beach vibe, where you're kind of like just driving with the windows down or on a convertible, anything like that. Winds blowing through your hair. Very good stuff right there. And then you even have tracks like "Open Hearts," where it's again very lively, not so much down with these synthesizers that are very drony, and kind of sounds a little bit of like religious in a way, of Abel in this cultish type vibe and environment. And it's just really awesome stuff. But he does have to end it with, I mean, the last track, the self-titled track, "Hurry Up Tomorrow," where it's just the big shebang, everything's coming together to an end. I mean, I hope this isn't the end for his career. Take this album for what it is, and just like just I applaud Abel for what he has done, and everything that he has given us has been banger after banger, and just the artistry and talent that this guy has is just phenomenal. Um, a little gripe I do have to say with the album are like the middle ish towards the end tracks. They're more toned down, but I think he did that on purpose just to give a little bit more of like the listener time to breathe. But I do have to say, track number 17, "Give Me Mercy," what kind of fucking Disney ass, Lion King ass track is that, man? I don't know what that track is all about. Horrible production in on my opinion. Very corny lyrics from him. Even though some of these lyrics throughout these tracks are very simple yet effective, and I think that he recognizes that, but he does do little things here and there, like on track number 18, "Drive," where it's simple but little production here, little tidbits and just little small tweaks that he has to do in the production, that just to make it more the track stand out and pop. But really good stuff throughout the album. Not really much to gripe with and pick at with this album, given and I'm very surprised given how large it is. It's an hour and 24 minutes, but I mean the guy is just a master at what he does. I'm so happy to hear this album and that the trilogy has finally come to an end. Abel, the Weeknd. Hopefully, this is not the end of his career, but it seems that for the name, for now, that name, the Weeknd, will be put down to rest. And wow, what a great, great send off! I am giving "Hurry Up Tomorrow" by Abel Tesfaye, aka the Weeknd, a 9 out of 10. We are starting off strong this year, guys and girls. We are here, and hopefully this won't be the end. But I'm really excited for the movie as well. Hopefully, y'all will check it out and check out this album if you haven't already. The biggest opening on Spotify this year so far, and that is pretty much it. Let me know what y'all think about the album. Let me know your favorite tracks, or if you have any gripes or pick-ats with this album. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. 9 out of 10. Hurry up tomorrow, the Weeknd. Past JAMZ is out.